This movie tells a story about a single mom and her two kids who arrive in a small town. They begin to discover their connection to the original Ghostbusters and the secret legacy their grandfather left behind. This movie is a sequel to the original 1980s Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2. After the 2016 reboot, which featured all-women Ghostbusters, this is a new attempt at a Ghostbusters revival. This movie ditches New York and takes place in a mostly empty small town in Oklahoma. Kelly and her children Trevor and Phoebe move there after getting evicted from their urban apartment. They find themselves on a farm belonging to their grandfather, an original Ghostbuster. You can tell exactly how this movie differs from the 2016 movie. It believes this franchise is all about the original characters and, even more importantly, their children. Unfortunately, this resurrection of a beloved franchise suffers from an over-reliance on its original life. It's deeply nostalgic exercise. That much is clear from the outset, as is so often the case with movies that combine decades-later sequelizing with franchise-hungry rebooting. With all the nostalgia packed into the picture, its own refurbished identity is compromised, functioning as a copy of what came before it. It's expressing the utmost reverence for the iconography of the original movie. For much of its running time, this movie lingers on the stuff in shots that lovingly reveal ghost traps, proton packs, and that rickety Ecto-1. A true geek-out checklist from characters, names, symbols, all manner of iconography from the original film coming back in this movie. All of which is really exciting for a few minutes, but eventually feels overwhelming and destroys what had been a decent family story. The result is a massive disconnect in the audience's emotional investment. You go from caring about these characters to being distracted by all of the references. The movie also makes a half-hearted attempt at forming a new quartet of squabbling, bantering heroes, with the siblings joined by Podcast and Lucky. The lack of actual screen time the four spend together as a group is a hint that the mix of younger and older kids is an act of demographic positioning more than anything else. As they dig deeper into the mystery, things slowly start to shift. Their discoveries begin to answer some, but not all, of the questions the audience had about this new tale. No mention about what happened to the original Ghostbusters or the effect of the stuff that was happening in the original movie. There's so much plot, character, and backstory stuffed in, with less comedy, while a few crucial connections get frustratingly pushed to the side or left way too fake. The movie also ends very abruptly, offers almost no closure for the core characters, and then tacks on two credit scenes that feel like they're from wholly different, almost unrelated movies. Nothing is sacred, and the spectacle culminates in all too familiar patterns. Overall, if you're a huge fan of the original, for the sake of nostalgia, then this movie is probably for you. Otherwise, stay away from this movie.